thousands upon thousands.
Hi, welcome back to the show. My name's Nick Taves. Kind of strange, I'm not usually up late at night recording podcasts. Late at night for me these days is 9, 10 o'clock at night. Typically I'm winding down, going to bed, but I just made a little excursion with my parents out to Chunky's movie theater here in New Hampshire. It's technically Nashua, New Hampshire is where the theater is, and I'm in Hollis, so not too far of a stretch. Anyway, I saw a movie called Maleficent. Now, normally I would wait, let's say, a couple of days anyway, to let it fester in my head and really figure out what I want to say about it. But this one got me all hot and bothered in the theater. Not for a bad reason, but because I like it. So I couldn't wait to blab about it. Surprise, surprise, if you hear any of these other episodes that I do, that I would possibly want to ramble on at the mouth. I think I'd be better suited having somebody else to talk to, so that you don't just hear my one-sided opinion, or me monologuing it, as it were, as opposed to, let's say, a conversation where somebody else could be asking questions or the likes. Pardon me. If you hear me clear my throat every now and again, it's partially a nervous tick and partially trying to keep my throat from becoming dry and making me cough. So we'll see what happens. I might still cough. Anyway, Maleficent was great. Now, let's start at the very beginning of this story. When I was and there's the cough I was saying. When I was I want to say 2 or 3 years old. This is 1989, 1990, one of those years. I couldn't honestly give you a definite year on that, because my parents wouldn't remember. But about then was when I saw Sleeping Beauty, 1959, the classic Disney cartoon that's now available on Blu-ray, and it was the basis for this movie, Maleficent. Maleficent is the word they say it in the movie, but I say Maleficent. It's Maleficent, so Maleficent. Basically, I saw the Sleeping Beauty movie, when I was about 2 or 3 years old, and I loved it. How could you not at that age, with all the colors and the silly little comedic things that the fairies are doing, or the idea that there's your true love, which is, when you're little, it's, a little fantasy world. And, oh, people love each other, and yeah, different than the other world once you watch the news when you're older, but that's another story altogether. Anyway, the the movie Sleeping Beauty, for those who don't know, although I fail to see how, if you're listening to this, you're not at an age where you would not know this, but Sleeping Beauty in short form is basically a young girl is born to a king and queen, and she has a curse put on her as a baby by Maleficent, and Maleficent being a sorceress of some kind in the original telling of the story. And she says that by the time the child, on sundown of the child's 16th birthday, the child will, prick her finger and fall into a deep sleep, almost like death, and that only true love's first kiss will free her from that spell. And so the kid is sent to live with 3 fairies out in a cottage in the forest to try to live off the radar, not using magic and whatnot, so that the sorcerers can't track her down and have the prophecy slash curse fulfilled. And so long story short is that she gets found by the sorceress, curse slash prophecy, whatever you want to call it, comes true, and so she pricks her finger, goes to sleep, and then Prince Charming comes along. That's not the name of the character. It's I want to say it's I want to say Prince Philip, Philip perhaps, I can't remember. Of course, it would help if I just looked the damn thing up, right? Okay, I'm going to do that while I'm talking. Basically, she gets her finger pricked, as I said, and falls asleep. So the prince has to kiss her and wake her up. And of course, sure enough, he does. So there you go. And yes, I was right. It's Prince Philip is the character that kisses Sleeping Beauty and wakes her up. So Prince Philip. And so, in a typical Disney form, it works out that the prince and princess get together, live happily ever after, that kind of thing. Not too surprising, given the Disney formula, and I'm not knocking it anyway. I'm a big fan of the classic Disney films, so you're never going to hear me say anything bad about it. That said, it is worth noting that, given that the movie Sleeping Beauty came out in 1959, it is a bit dated for today's audience's taste, I believe. So it's a good thing that it got a facelift. Now that facelift is the movie I just saw, Maleficent. Maleficent, I guess. I keep arguing myself on that. Anyway, I just saw the movie, and it's Angelina Jolie as the title character, Elle Fanning as the princess who's ferried away and unattended, pricks her finger and whatnot. So it's roughly the same story. The difference is that you're supposed to feel bad for your Maleficent, and this is done in the Wicked style of things. Wicked, for those who don't know, although again, at this age, I'm not sure, at the age that you're listening to this at, I'm not sure you wouldn't be able to know what it is, but I would say for posterity's sake that you don't, and you can hear it told to you and decide if you want to read it or see the musical show, or if they make a movie out of it at some point, maybe you want to see that. And I hope they do, but that's another story and a whole other podcast. But Wicked is a reimagining of the Wizard of Oz story, but telling the bad witch's side of things, i.e. the Wicked Witch of the West, played by Margaret Hamilton in the 1939 classic version of The Wizard of Oz, which itself was a remake of a few silent versions of it. But I'm getting winded saying this stuff. Basically, Wicked is the idea that the Wicked Witch of the West got a bum steer, and that she wasn't actually wicked. She's just bitter because of the way that life went for her. Having a kid, and spoilers, and abortion, and also having a very caring family, going to a school, being roommates with somebody who's prettier than her and is able to get the Wicked Witch's boyfriend away from her. And so she deeply resents Glinda, who is the prettier witch. And then when Dorothy happens along, she's just taking out all her anger from the years of crap that she took out on poor little old Dorothy. So that's the premise of Wicked, the first book. The second book, because it's a series of 4 as of the time of this recording, in the second book, Son of the Witch, the son that Elphaba, alias the Wicked Witch of the West, had before she died, goes searching for the truth about his existence and what really happened to his mother. And then it goes into a third book. And the third book is A Lion Amongst Men, and A Lion Amongst Men is a lion searching for truth about the witch and the Witch of the West and her son, and what happened with Dorothy, and what's happening with his kind, because he's the last lion in the Oz area, basically. And then there's another book called Out of Oz, which is the fourth one. I have not yet read that, and I couldn't tell you yet what that's about really intelligently, having not read it, but I will read it soon, and I'll do another podcast about that series. Probably I'll have to start one about literature the more I think about it, but that's one of the stories. So, basically, Wicked was a reimagining of the story of The Wizard of Oz with Dorothy. It comes to is in Kansas. There's a storm. She gets knocked out. Goes over to Oz. Meets the lion, the Tin Man, and the Scarecrow. They journey to the city of Oz together to see the wizard in order to get Dorothy home, get a brain for the Scarecrow, or a heart for the Tin Man, and courage for the lion. So they are then told by the wizard that they have to go get the witch's broom, kill the witch, bring back the broom, and only then can he grant them their requests. And when they get back, they find out that it's just a little man with levers who's a magician, not very good at that, and whatnot. And then they have a little self-discovery that they had everything that they ever wanted inside them. All they have to do is be happy with who they are, and there's no place like home. There's no place like home. Dorothy gets back to Kansas. It was all a dream. At least that's the way that the 1939 movie played it. It's a little bit different in the 15-book series by L. Frank Baum, and I think Gregory McGuire, I believe, is the guy that wrote the Wicked series. So that the Maleficent, jump back to Maleficent, and I'll pull it all together for you. Don't worry, bear with me. Maleficent, there we go. I keep stumbling on this. Sorry if I'm pissing you off, but doing my best here. It would help if I had a drink, probably, because I'm doing this sober, and I tend to stumble when I'm sober. Go buzz, and I'm perfectly fine. Anyway, Maleficent is the other side of it, where Maleficent is wronged by a couple of kings, and she's a fairy, and she gets spoilers. I should say, if you haven't seen the movie yet, stop listening now. Go get your ass to a place where you can get the movie, be it online, be it a video store, and one of the few that remain, or buy the disc on DVD or Blu-ray and watch it, or whatever format you can find it on. It's worth it. If you have seen it, then no worries. But at this point, it's spoiler alert. Here's the story. So, Maleficent is there we go, I got it. Maleficent is a fairy who gets wronged a bunch of times by a couple of kings, and and the daughter of the second king, who she used to like as a boyfriend kind of thing, I used to be friends with, turns out to have a kid. The daughter's born. She puts the curse on the kid, and then through having to kind of keep the kid from dying in various ways over the course of the 16 years between the time of the curse and the time of the uh, the curse coming true of Sleeping Beauty, according to the Sleeping Beauty side of the story, pricks her finger and falls asleep. Between in that intervening time, there, Maleficent it grows fond of the kid and wants to take back what she did, but she couldn't. And girl pricks her finger, goes to sleep. The king gets vengeful. The prince comes along, kisses her, nothing happens. Turns out he needs Maleficent's kiss to wake up Sleeping Beauty, or the formerly Sleeping Beauty, as she is referred to by me for the purposes of that she's not actually Sleeping Beauty in this version, but I'll get to that in a second. Basically she gets knocked out, the king gets vengeful, prince comes, kisses her, doesn't work, takes Maleficent kissing her, it wakes her up, epic showdown, second king gets killed, Maleficent and then the princess, nay queen now, move out to the forest. Maleficent takes down all the thorns and stuff and makes it the way that it was when she was happy, and excuse me, they live happily ever after in the forest. So there you go. There's the interesting twist on the story. And as I said a minute and change ago or whatever, that Maleficent is Sleeping Beauty in this version. And basically the beauty in her was put to sleep by anger and then reawoken when she found caring for the child. And it took her being able to kiss the child and say, I'm sorry I did this to you, to get her to realize that she still had the capability to love, basically, and that's what reawakened her. So it brings out the nice side of her. So she's Sleeping Beauty on the inside, basically, is what's being said. So that long rant short is the story. Now, how does that relate to what I was talking about with Oz, Wizard of Oz, and Wicked? Well, let me tell you. Maleficent is to Sleeping Beauty what Wicked was to the Wizard of Oz, or is to the Wizard of Oz. It's a reimagining of the story, making you feel sympathy for the quote-unquote bad character. But it is fantastic the way that it's done. Visually, it's a knockout. If you can see it in 3D, go that way and see it in 3D. Don't. The 2D still works if you don't like 3D, but if you can and you like 3D, go with 3D. That's the way to say it, really. That said, I gave you the story. Now you know the story of Maleficent. You know the story of Sleeping Beauty. You know the story of the Wizard of Oz, and you know the story of the Wicked series up to a point. And again, I'll probably wind up starting a different podcast series for books. Probably call it Reader's Digest. Hopefully they don't sue me for that, but that's another thing. That's a joke. I'll come up with something. Anyway, it's now you got all the stories. Now let me dissect the movie for you. The movie, I'm not going to go do a Jerry Lewis kind of breakdown of the movie of, well, you think this because of whatever, and it's got depth and warmth and all that crap. There's enough of that. If you want that, go to college and study films. If you just want a straight up review by a film buff who knows too much about the ins and outs of making films, the stories pertaining thereto of celebs' lives and their careers and whatnot, then keep listening, because that's what I'm going to give you. Basically, Maleficent stars Angelina Jolie, Elle Fanning, Imelda Staunton, those are the big names. Staunton plays one of the little fairies, and she was the bad headmistress / Ministry of Magic personnel who takes over Hogwarts during one of the later Harry Potter books / movies. And so she played that part, Dolores Umbridge, and she's been in a few other movies that I've seen as of late. Let me actually give you those while I'm thinking of it. Let's see here. We have pulling up our IMDb page for this. Yeah, she's British, or English, I should say, so I'm not offending anybody. Much Ado About Nothing, 1993, she was in. She was in The Adventures of Toad, The Snow Queen's Revenge, Shakespeare in Love, The Adventures of Toad, 1996, Snow Queen's Revenge, 1996, Shakespeare in Love, 1998, Jack and the Beanstalk, 1999, David Copperfield, 1999, Canterbury Tales TV series, 1998 to 2000. She was in Nanny McPhee in 2005. She was in The Wind in the Willows in 2006. She was in Freedom Writers, which is one of the ones I just saw recently, in 2007. She was in Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, which was number 5 in the series, as memory serves. And that was 2007. And then she was in Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, which was number 6, and that was in 2009. She was in Alice in Wonderland in 2010, the Johnny Depp Tim Burton version. She was in Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1 in 2010 as well. She was also in Maleficent, as I said, and she's going to be in another version of the Canterville Ghost with Hugh Laurie and Stephen Fry in 2016, unless the billing changes on that. That's projected into the future. On the off chance that you're hearing this in the future and this is past, it may be the casting changed. I don't know. Anyway, that's the story. I'm sticking to it. So that's her, and so Angelina Jolie plays the title character Maleficent and does a magnificent job as Maleficent. Elle Fanning steals every scene that she's in, as far as I'm concerned. And she's a good little actress. She's probably taller than me. Anyway, she's a good actress, and I feel that she, like her sister, will go on to great things in the industry. Anyway, she's Dakota Fanning's younger sister. She was also in Super 8. That's what I was trying to think of. She was in Super 8 and Twixt. Now, Super 8 was 2011. Twixt was 2011. Twixt is Francis Ford Coppola, and Super 8 it was let's see, who was it? It was J.J. Abrams, and Spielberg was the producer on that. She was also in the Nutcracker 3D in 2009, which on video is like The Secret of the Nutcracker. Well, it's a different title, basically, is what I'm getting at. She was also in The Curious Case of Benjamin Button in 2008. She was on House MD in 2006. And Because of Winn-Dixie in 2005. I Am Sam in 2001. And there you go. So that's Elle Fanning. Angelina Jolie, for those who are interested. This is getting way more technical than I ever have on all of these things. But she was in Meatloaf, Bad Out of Hell 2 picture show music video. 1994. She was in Gia in 1998. She was in The Bone Collector, 1999. Girl Interrupted, 1999. Gone 60 Seconds, 2000. Warcraft Tomb Raider, 2001. Original Sin, 2001. Life or something like it, 2002. Warcraft Tomb Raider 2, The Cradle of Life, 2003. Beyond Borders, 2003. Taking Lives, 2004. Shark Tale, she did a voice in 2004. Sky Captain in the World Tomorrow, 2004. Alexander in 2004. Mr. and Mrs. Smith, 2005. The Good Shepherd, 2006. Mighty Heart, 2007. Beowulf, 2007. She did a voice in Kung Fu Panda, 2008. She did The Changeling, or James Run, in 2008. The Clint Eastwood film. Wanted in 2008. Salt in 2010. Then The Tourist in 2010. Then Kung Fu Panda 2 in 2011. Then Maleficent in 2014. Kung Fu Panda 3 in 2015. She did a voice. And number 2, she did a voice. And is announced Salt 2 at some point. And she's also apparently going to do some untitled Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie film. They're a couple in real life, and they're also doing. She's going to be in Churchill and Roosevelt, and she's also going to play Cleopatra at some point, unless something changes. So that's Angelina Jolie's career in a nutshell. So, as I say, the cast did a great job. Angelina Jolie's great. Elle Fanning's great. The visuals are stunning. Great in 3D. They really pop out at you. Music is good. It's nice that they use the same song, Love is But a Dream, from the original 1959 production of Sleeping Beauty, or cartoon of Sleeping Beauty, in this live action Maleficent. I almost did it again. So I'm rambling on at the mouth here. I could probably go on for another half hour anyway, praising this thing endlessly, but don't take my word for it. Watch it for yourself, see what you think. It might not be your cup of tea if you're expecting exactly, despite what I've said already, if you're expecting the exact story that you saw in Sleeping Beauty. If that's what you're expecting, don't watch it. It's a reimagining, as I said. It's good, really good. Makeup is great. CGI is great. Acting is great. Just in general, a good, top-notch film. And an agreeable way to spend 97 minutes, if I do say so myself. So that's the big thing here. Go check out Maleficent. Now, the next podcast that I'm going to do about movies is going to be Las Vegas with Thomas and Jonathan Sawyer. You will catch that. It's June 10th right now. So you will catch that either the end of this month or early next, which is July, and it is 2014. So there you go. That's going to be the next one. I will also probably do a House of Cards one once I've seen this second season of the American version of House of Cards and read the 3 books. But that's going to be a little ways in the future, but I'm teasing you. It's coming up soon. soon be. I don't know when, but it's going to happen. And there will be other films that I will see that I will comment on. And I will tease this now. I'm working on a book that I'd like to see completed by year's end, but I don't see that happening. Not the way it's going, anyway. I'm basically writing a mashup of genre books. It's partial autobiography, partial theology, in the sense that it's a way to live your life using movies as a guide to live life. That means that you can learn stuff from movies, and or there are movies for major life events that you can use to prep yourself or have fun with, or not so much, depending on what kind of film it is. So it's part film appreciation as well, and part film history, and part excuse me, life with a disability. And one of my outrageous claims I make is that you can learn to read body language a little bit from watching silent films, and that is probably a podcast in and of itself. Maybe I'll do that later, maybe I won't, I don't know, we'll see. But that's one of the outrageous claims I make in this thing. And, it's coming along slowly right now. I'm doing a lot of research and taking notes on movies, writing down things, figuring out what I want to say about each thing, trying to get it to flow together. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. And I really would hope that I get that done sometime soon, but I don't see that happening. But anyway, that's my tease for you. I got a book in the works. Yes, I am also, per the Time Is Everything series, working on a couple of scripts about my late friend Mercedes Kearney, who died in a car crash in November 2013. Last month, which was May, on the 23rd, was the 6-month anniversary of her passing, and her birthday was just the other day. She would have been 26, and that was the 7th of June 2014. I wrote about that in the book. So there's that. Anyway, that's I think that's about to do it for this podcast. So you've been sufficiently teased of projects that I'm working on, and you've heard me rant about Maleficent. And really, you should check out Sleeping Beauty, the 1959 classic Disney cartoon for sure. You should definitely check out Maleficent, the Angelina Jolie, Elle Fanning film directed by Robert Stromberg. And you should also check out the Wicked series, both in book form and the show and the movie if there is one. Or if they haven't done it yet in the future, hurry up and do it. And always check out The Wizard of Oz 1939, and even the 20s and teens silent film versions and cartoons. And also check out, while you're at it, check out the Wicked series. The Wicked series, as I said, but check out the books also with the Wizard of Oz series, because that's a totally different thing, and there's, as I say, 15 of them. 14 of them are chapter, and then there's a short stories collection for the 15th. And they're all good. They're all by L. Frank Baum. Check them out. There's spin-offs that you can always get into if you're so inclined. I tell you to stick with the L. Frank Baum because that's the way that he wanted you to see it and whatnot. So, with that, I'm Nate Taves. Thanks for listening. Check out these movies and books that I was just riffing about. And I'll see you on the next one of these with Thomas and Jonathan Sawyer talking about Las Vegas. And believe me, that's long overdue. But boy, will we have fun and plenty of drinks that night.